Hello, entrepreneurs, artists, and creators. This is Dave with Founder Sensei. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever laid awake at night worrying about your startup? Have you ever been so consumed with thinking, with anticipating problems, with trying to make sure that you're doing everything you can to make your startup successful? Have you ever been overwhelmed with that feeling where you can't shut your brain off? Well, if you're working on a startup, and if you've founded a startup in particular, chances are you've had sleepless nights. And so I want to share with you the beginning of what I hope is an enlightening series of videos. And it's a module that I like to call Resilient Psychology. One of my favorite quotes in the startup world is from Ben Horowitz, who was an entrepreneur, now venture capitalist, founder of Andreessen Horowitz. And in his book, A Hard Thing About Hard Things, he wrote this quote. This has jumped off the page at me. And in that book, he says, your number one priority as a startup CEO is managing your own psychology. Isn't that interesting? I would think the number one priority might be growing revenue, hiring people, managing investors. No. Number one priority is managing your own psychology. Now, that resonated with me in a very deep way. And I think the reason is because I know he's absolutely right. I've done enough startups to know that it's a roller coaster ride. The highs are very high and the lows are very low. And if you don't actively, daily, manage your psychology, you could lose your mind. And I uncovered this myself, and so I developed some personal techniques. And then when I started mentoring other entrepreneurs, I noticed the same thing. There are psychological issues that come up when you're doing a startup. And so I was trying to figure out how I can be helpful and how I can teach what I've learned to manage my psychology to be more resilient, more connected, and happier while I'm building a startup. And so what I've put together is a series of 20 videos that I hope will be helpful to you in managing your psychology. And just I want to leave this intro video with one last thought. I think the reason it's so important is because when you are building a startup, you are creating something from nothing. A startup is a creative process. And because it's a creative process, there are a lot of similarities between spirituality and any creative process, in particular the startup creative process. And these are connections that I never saw before. And when I say spirituality, I don't mean religion. I mean the sense of connectedness with all things, and I mean, more importantly, the connectedness with the source of all creativity. And so, managing our psychology, I have found techniques that I've used in my spiritual practice that have become really very helpful in my startup entrepreneurship career, my career building startups. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and I'm going to be putting these videos out, which I think lay a foundation for how you can cultivate a resilient mindset. So watch the videos. I hope you enjoy them. If you have thoughts or comments, please share those with me. You can do so on the message threads below, or of course, always you can reach me, Dave at foundersensei.com. Hope you enjoy it.